What's up, guys? This is Charles with Rocket Punch Army, and it brings me great pleasure to bring this review to you guys. It's the Hot Toys Movie Masterpiece Series Diecast Robocop. This is the MMS202-D04 16 scale collectible figure of Robocop. We're looking at the bottom of the box. Let me just pan up to the top here, and you can see this little sort of outline design kind of thing surrounding what I believe is a picture of the actual figure. All right, and if we scroll back down to the title here, you can see it's got a little bit of a rainbowy effect, almost just like the armor on Robocop, which is a nice little detail. It's got a nice little kind of textury finish to it. It looks like it's just taped over the actual cardboard. The side here has the name Robocop right there, and the back has the usual credits like all the other Hot Toys releases. And again, this is an amazing release, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up. The way this box opens up, it's got this front piece here. I'll do my best to show you how this works. It is a big box. Let me just move the camera back here. This part slides off, and you'll see right behind it is what looks like a concrete Robocop bit there, but that's actually styrofoam. All right, so this styrofoam piece also pops out, and the bottom part here is just empty hollow box, the lower box. And again, this is a styrofoam tray, which is excellently done. It does look like what do you call it? Concrete, but it's a nice styrofoam, and the styrofoam is really tight. It's got a really tight look to it. All the little bubble things or whatever, those little pieces of styrofoam are really jumbled up together, and the molding on here is super, super sharp. Now, it would be a very big shame to crack the styrofoam if you save the boxes. You want to be very careful, since it is an amazingly tight fit. There's very little clearance between the molding here, so be very careful you don't snap it. If you do care about keeping the box. Right behind here, we have Robocop himself. It's laid out in a tray. You get the three variant lower faces. Unfortunately, this does not have Mr. Weller's full likeness, but there is a second one coming out, and that's kind of annoying. That, you know, a lot of people invest in this one, and now they're going to make a 2.0, whatever the hell it's called, Peter Weller's face. But for now, this is what we get. I'm not really going to display it without the mask anyway. You got the battle damage helmet up here. You got the, you got the battle damage chest, which is pretty well done. And you have the pistols here. The little red sticker there does state that it is a die-cast pistol. I believe the die-cast pistol is only for use in his holster. The bottom gun here is an actual plastic one, which you would use with the hands. So scroll down here. You get the data spike here. You get the open hands. I believe these are articulated hands. Yeah, these are articulated. It does come with fisted hands on the figure itself. Right over here is a little Hot Toys moisture packet to keep mold from growing, I guess. So I do want to take a moment to pop this guy out so we can get a closer look. All right, take it out of the tray. You do have to remove some protective plastic. You got them on the arms, the head. So I'll just pop these off here, and then I just take the leg ones off. All right, so we got all that plastic crap off of him, and I just want to take a moment here. If you excuse me, I'm just going to go ahead and rub this on my crotch real quick, and I like to do that with all the awesome figures. All right, you feel free to do that on your own if you want. So yeah, again, here he is. Excellent head sculpt, excellent finish. This is amazing, this finish. Let's take a look at that. It looks metallic, like it actually looks like it's made out of metal, like the chest here, but the chest is not metal. I'm going to tell you which parts are metal. I'm sure some of the joints underneath are metal, maybe the inner part of him is metal, but the obvious place is when you first touch this, and it is nice and cold in this room, so I can't tell the differences. You get the shoulders right here, this whole section here, and the biceps are metal. The thighs, unfortunately, are not metal, but the lower legs are right here. This whole thing here is just big chunks of metal. It's very reminiscent of the Chogokin C3PO, except that was completely metal. Well, take a look at the back here. Here's the sculpting on the back. Again, excellent. This really looks like I'm just filming the actual real Robocop. Take a look at that, guys. That is just absolutely stunning. As I look at this, it almost seems like the metal actually has that little kind of color changing thing where it's kind of purpley and bluish. They kind of faked that on the movie also. It didn't actually change color with just certain purplish hues. The figure captures that quite nicely. You'll see right here as I turn this, they got a slight airbrush misting going on there, and you'll notice it on the bottom of the leg here, which is done very effectively. It looks exactly like it does in the movie. We're going to take a closer look. Just take a look at that sculpt, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. It really looks like Weller there. It's got the little puckered lips going on. You got the little shiny lens visor thing. You got the detailing on the side of the head there. And we'll scroll right down and look at other details. You got the little rings that come up around his shoulders, which and a lot of Robocop figures, they're not actually rings. They're just like little tabs that stick up. So it's really nice that they've really gone into great lengths for detail here. All the panel lining is correct. You get the little ribbed stomach. It's a little hard to see with the lighting here, but you can see the detail there. And as we scroll down, you can see all the detailing in the leg and the knees, and finally the feet here. And I'm happy to say these are working pistons. We will show you that in a second with the articulation. So let's go ahead and do the articulation here. We got the head. As you can see, it's got very lifelike movement. You'll see that the lower portion of the neck is also moving with the head, so it does have a good range of movement, just like Robocop would in the movie. If we move down to the shoulders, these shoulders obviously kind of limited here. They are a little bit hindered, but they do pop out, even though it looks a little bit weird, to give you some more movement there. All right. They also rock back and forth. You have the elbow here. You have the little hands here on a ball joint. And you got the ab crunch going on. It's very limited. You'll see there's a little bit of space there. You got the waist that spins. It's a little tough to spin. But check this out, guys. If you need more movement, this pops out. You've got to give it a little bit of force. Then you get a lot more movement. You get a lot more ab crunch going on. So that's a really cool thing. And then if we move here, you get this movement here, which is pretty crazy. Don't know what that's for, but I guess it helps along with the to get a little bit more of the elbow going on without having a double joint here that looks all weird. You have the legs, which pop out also to give you more range of movement, and again rock back and forth just like the arms. You have the knees here. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and bend that, and they ratchet beautifully. All right, and like I said, the feet have a working piston. You'll see it working right there. You have the toe, which is actually spring-loaded, which is pretty cool. And you have the side-to-side movement and back and forth, which I just showed you. So very excellent articulation for this type of design. My only concern so far, after just briefly showing you guys the figure, even though it's die-cast and mostly plastic, there is rubber parts, and I hope this is not the type of rubber that's going to disintegrate and just make this piece worthless after a while. But there's rubber in the elbow. You can see I'm pushing right into the rubber. Right? There's also rubber on the knees here, right, where all the wiring and all the whatever goes on in his knee. That's rubber also. Now, next thing I want to show you guys is the interchangeable faces. So you got the little tray here with the faux Robocop or Fogocop pieces up here. What you do is just open a tray. It gives you access to all three faces. You got this kind of I'm in pain kind of thing. This face, it's slightly open, looks a little bit upset, and then this one's like, ooh, looks like he's going to pucker up and kiss somebody. So what I'm going to do is show you what he looks like with each face, and then we're also going to add the battle damage armor and helmet. Now to remove the helmet, just grab it. It's held on with a magnet, okay, which you can see right back there. And what's good about these magnets, instead of being glued, they're actually screwed in. I know a lot of times the magnets pop off and they stick onto the head. I'm glad they screwed it on. And guys, because of the finish on the faces, you want to make sure your fingers aren't oily so you don't oil up the face. But you grab the face from the side, pop it off, and it allows you to pop the face that you do want to put on. I'm going to put the puckered lips because I think he looks a tad silly with it on. But we'll check it out. So that's what he looks like with that face. And here he is with the second slightly opened, kind of showing the teeth kind of face there. Now for this last face, I do feel the need to show you with the battle damaged helmet. So what I'm going to do first, before I even do that, is take off the chest here. Alright, so the chest is just plastic, it's not actually die cast. When we remove this, you can actually see the chest here, which will try and get the gloss right here on the light. And you can see that there's a little honeycomb here, a little speaker thing, because this does have a sound feature. We'll go ahead and attach the battle damaged chest here. When it gets all shot up, and you'll see the detailing on that. A little bit of spatter here, a little bit of melting of the metal, a little opening here, which shows whatever's going on underneath the chest there. And then we'll go ahead and move right back up here. We'll go ahead and grab the helmet. Now as I look at this battle damaged helmet, I also see there's a little skin flesh type looking piece here, because you can actually see the eye. There's the eye. You can see the little eye detailing, and its usual very highly detailed Hot Toys eye. So we'll go ahead and attach the battle damaged helmet. And there he is, battle damaged. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. So let's move on to accessories before we check out the other gimmicks. You got the data spike here, right, which is very sharp, so be careful with that. Very beautifully sculpted hand. Right, so to use that, very simply pop off the standard hand and then pop the new one on. So there he is with this data spike, which he can use to impale somebody or to provide some video. Now he's also got this other hand here, which at first glance looks like a relaxed hand, but it's actually articulated. All right, and it's a fully articulated hand. The fingers can move back and forth. So very realistic movement here. It seems like only the first two move back and forth. These two I can't get to go to side, but the first two I can. And then you got the thumb here, which is also fully articulated on a ball joint here. And it looks like, yeah, it was probably just because it was seized here with the paint. So they do all rock back and forth. Okay, and they're on little ball joints here on the knuckles. Same thing, all you got to do is pop it on, just like so. Oh, and it looks like this piece here, the gauntlet, is actually a rubberized material too. Please do not disintegrate on me after a year or two. Please, please, please. Now the other pieces I want to show you is his guns here. You got the plastic one here, which does have some paint detail on the actual gun itself, and also a little magazine pops out. So this one is a little bit more detailed than the die-cast one. The die-cast one, I believe, is really only for looks, to have it in the holster. Why it needs to be die-cast to be in the holster, I don't know. But let's go ahead and check that out. What I do recommend, and the book recommends, is to bend his knee, I guess, to provide some clearance for this part. And the second thing I would do is pop the leg out, because you do have to open his door, and it sort of gets hung up on his butt panel there. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Yeah, there we go. So you'll see it's got a folding panel here, which you can move back, and there's a little holster piece. Now the holster piece can actually be pulled out, as it should, and then you can place the die-cast gun in there. I believe you can just put the plastic one in there too. Let's see. I don't know the reason for it to have to be die-cast, but you know, this is the same size, so whatever you want to do. But it does say the die-cast should go in there, and then you can just go ahead and close that up. Then you can also just attach it to his hand. You do have to use the articulated hands. It doesn't have actual weapon holding hands, so you have to have a little bit of patience. It's a little bit tricky to get it to hold it, but once you have it in there, it looks really cool. Now it also does have an included stand. You'll see I have it here still in its protective plastic wrap, because from what I've heard, when you stand it on here enough and mess about, it's going to end up scratching the screened print here. And it's got, of course, got this crotch hook, which is adjustable. And then the last couple of things I want to show you is this little knob looking thing, which is actually a magnet. I'll show you what that does. And it's also got this here, this little Robocop looking thing, which is actually, the O here is a button. And you'll see it's got an on-off switch. So this would control the sound feature, which unfortunately, guys, I can't show you at the moment because I did not expect it to have weird size batteries. I do understand the button batteries. I do have a full array and assortment of batteries and they actually included it. I wasn't even prepared for them to include this, which is cool. That's for the controller. But if we take a look at Robocop himself, this is where the knob comes in, and the magnets right there, that allows you to take this off without having any weird tabs. And then you get this little piece here with a little screwdriver which you can open up, but you'll notice you're not going to fit regular batteries. I thought I would need AAAs, which I bought. You'll see they're much too big here. It's a weird kind of battery that needs to be put in there. It looks like it might be some sort of weird camera battery, which, you know, I really wish I could show you guys the sound feature. I will do a follow-up, but it does have some cool effects, you know, his voice saying a bunch of stuff from the movies. So I wish I could have done it for you guys. I apologize, but got the wrong batteries. So that about wraps it up right now, guys. Please stay tuned for the follow-up video with the sound effects. And unless you're dead, this review has probably awakened your need to buy one of these. If so, you can click the link below. If you have any questions or comments, you can also leave them below. And if you absolutely must have Peter Weller's face, there's another version coming out where it's like his face when he has his mask off. And there's also a version available with the mechanical chair. So if you want to have that scene where he's sitting in the mechanical chair, you can also recreate that with the other version of this. And that's it, guys. Till next time, bye-bye.